All right, you already know who it is. It's your boy OG Gordo tapping in from Phoenix AZ. Today I want to talk about Mike Tyson, man. Everybody knows the legend, the baddest, one of the baddest boxers. He revealed his brother is a brain surgeon who actually saved a couple of his friends' lives after they were shot. His brother, Tyson, one of the most famed punchers of all time, highlighted contrast between himself and his brother Rodney. And I'm gonna use their picture for my thumbnail so you guys can actually see his brother. But he said, I have a brother that's a brain surgeon. I can fucking barely read and write, and this guy's a brain surgeon and shit. And this is actually the words of Mike Tyson. A couple of my friends were shot. He went there and sewn them up. One friend says, Mike, that's your brother? Yeah. I would have said the same thing. And he says, yeah, that's my brother. Saved a couple of my friends' lives. They've been shot and he sewn them up. He says, that's your brother. Yes, it's my brother. Tyson, now 54, wrote extensively about his brother in his 2014 book, Undisputed Truth. And if you guys haven't seen that, checked out that book, make sure you go check it out, man. I've actually started reading some of it. It's a very good book, very interesting book. He remarked, we're black guys from the ghetto, and he was like a scientist. He had these little test tubes and was always experimenting. Oh man, I was like, white people do this shit. He once went to the chemistry lab at Pratt Institute, a nearby college, and got some chemicals to do an experiment. A few days later, when he was out, I snuck into his room and started adding water to his test tubes, and I blew out the whole back window, starting a fire in his room. Yeah, man. As well as starting fires in Rodney's room and the occasional scuffle. Tyson also cut his brother with the razor while he was sleeping. Now, come on now, think about that shit. Think about sleeping with your brother. You got to worry about his ass cutting you up. You know what I'm? He recalled, I fought with him a lot, but it was just typical stuff, except for the day I cut him with the razor. Yeah, that's definitely not typical at all. I had beaten him up for some reason, and then he had gone to sleep. Man, that's like basically you're sleeping with the enemy. My sister Denise and I were watching one of those doctor type soap operas, and she said we could do that, and Ronnie could be the patient. So we rolled up the sleeve and got to work on his left arm. Scalpel, I said, and my sister handed me the razor. I cut him a bit and he started bleeding. Ah, Mike, come on, bruh. And she passed it to me and I poured it onto his cut. Now imagine this shit, people. Imagine this. He woke up screaming and yelling, chasing us around the house. He still has those slices to this day. Tyson soon left his troubled life in Brooklyn, age 13, when he was introduced to his mentor and former trainer, Cus D'Amato, while staying in a facility for juvenile delinquents. D'Amato later legally adopted and housed the promising boxer and coached him in his gym in the Catskill. Sadly, D'Amato died while Tyson was 19, but a year later, Iron Mike won the title, becoming the youngest heavyweight champion of all time. I actually remember that, and I remember him after the fight dedicating that fight to Cus D'Amato. I actually remember that fight. Tyson went on to have one of the most famous careers in boxing with equal ups and downs before he retired in 2005. In his tell all book released 7 years ago, he revealed his relationship with his brother Rodney broke down. Well, I can kind of see why it would have broke down. Shit, man. Mike, obviously he was no easy character to be kicking it with or even to have as a brother. But he once spoke about how the lives of his friends were saved by his older sibling. Tyson wrote, I was used to living in the slum, in a condemned building, but my brother never talks about that. It must affect him. He said, to me, last time we spoke, I heard you have a magnificent book, but he hasn't read it. He's just so far away from that world. He's the number one trauma guy in the country. He's awesome. He's taken bullets out of some of my friends. Mike, do you know your brother is a surgeon? I say, yeah, I knew. We don't have a close connection. Too many demons, too much pain. Basically, Mike was the black sheep. That had to be hard, man. And his brother also